guys, it's Carolyn with Crafting with Wine, and I'm coming back on to do another 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. Obviously all done with the Cricut, and I have started with a 12 by 12 layer of black cardstock with 11.5 by 11.5 layer of blue cardstock that I have inked around. And then the next thing that I'm going to lay down is this tree that I've inked around as well. And for all of you people that have been using the Cricut for years with scrapbooking, you might be happy because I've used a lot of different Cricut cartridges with this one. The tree comes from the April Showers cartridge. It is cut at 7.46 inches wide by 10.62 inches high, and I am going to lay it down flat on my page. I'm not going all the way to the end because I'm going to be cutting off some of this tree. I'm going to place it right about there. I have inked around everything actually. Now my next layer is a grass hill border that I cut out of dark green cardstock. Again, I inked around the edges of this. This particular border comes from the Holiday Cakes cartridge, and it's actually called the tapestry border, and it came with a couple layers, and I just used one of them. It's cut at 11.5 inches wide by 5 and 1/4 inches high. Okay, I'm getting low on my tape here in my runner. I knew I was going to, so I brought over another tape roll to bring in if I needed it, and I'm pretty certain I'm going to. So I'm going to line this up at the bottom of the blue layer. It's going to put it right there. And this layout that I'm doing is inspired by my neighborhood. And just so you know, just so I can tell you, I actually live within this city, but it feels like we're pretty far out when we're really not far out at all. And all of these things are in my neighborhood. And I have a fence here that has a little chick outline attached to it. So I'm cutting it off because I'm not using that chick on this particular side of my layout. So I'm just going to cut off some of it because I don't need it. And my fence is cut at 11.5 inches wide by 5.45 inches high, and I am going to lay it down flat as well. And this fence comes from the Cartridge Country Fair. See, I've already used 3 different cartridges on 3 different images. And I'm going to place it right there. Now my next layer is a little piece of grass border, and it is cut at 11.5 inches wide, and it is right about 1 inch high. And I don't know which cartridge this came from because this is Scraps that I had left over from another cut that I made. So sorry about that, but there's tons of different grass borders and lots of different Cricut cartridges. So you can find one that works for you very easily, I'm sure. So it's going to go right down there at the bottom of my fence line. My next image is a photo mat, and the cream colored is cut at 4.5 by 4.5, and then the yellow polka dot is 1/4 of an inch smaller, which makes it 4.25 by 4.25. And when I picked it up, I just realized I had not inked around the edges of that one photo mat, and actually I would have preferred to ink around both layers, but obviously now that I have it done, I cannot do that. So we're going to do it with just the one layer, and I'm going to place it right here. And this image is inspired by a great big draft horse that used to live on our street and died last year. So it's inspired for him. And then the next image that I have is this little red bird that I've cut out, and I did him at Print and Cut. He comes from the cartridge Winter Wonderland, and he is cut at 2.40 inches wide by 2.04 inches high. And I am going to lay him down flat, and I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue on him because he's actually small. And I'll have a hard time getting my ATG gun in there. And I'm going to lay him right about here, up in my tree. And then I've cut him a little smaller, and I've got my notes right there. That's what you saw just fall. And the smaller one is cut at 1.69 inches wide by 1.44 inches high. And he is Print and Cut obviously as well. And I'm going to lay him down flat too, and I'm going to put him right about there. There we go. My next image is this cute little Calico Cat, and he is cut at 4.77 inches wide by 2.66 inches high. He comes from the Pet Shop cartridge, and I also did him as Print and Cut. And I'm going to lay him down flat. Actually, everything on my layout today is being laid down flat. Kind of different and new for me. And I'm going to put him on the fence post because he's jumping up on the fence post. And put him right about there. My next image is this cute little goat that I've cut out. He is paper pieced together, and my goat is cut at, oh goodness, where did I put the measurements? There it is. My goat is cut at 4.45 inches wide by 4.96 inches high, and he comes from the Cricut cartridge Animal Kingdom. And I'm going to put my cute little goat right down here on top of my grass. And then my next image is this cute little squirrel, and I did print and cut on him. He is cut at 1.5 inches wide by 2.68 inches high, and I'm going to lay him down flat as well. I guess I should stop saying that since they're all laid down flat. And there are so many images on this and on this 2-page layout, and that's the reason I've decided to do so many of them as print and cut. And that's where my cute little squirrel's gonna go. My next image is this amazing fox. He was so many pieces, but he came out so amazingly cute. I love cutting this image, and I've cut it probably a freaking million times, to be quite honest. And my little fox is cut at 2.91 inches wide by 4.50 inches high, and he comes from the Photoplay Paper Autumn Day cartridge. And I knew I was going to run out of tape, and I just ran out. So let me get this changed, and I will come right back and finish my layout. And my super cute little fox that I think is the most amazing thing ever, I'm going to put right down here in the corner. He just makes the page, I think. And then my next image is a chicken, and my chicken comes from the Country Life cartridge, and she is cut at 3.26 inches wide by 3.57 inches high, and she came out super cute as well. So I'm going to get some adhesive on her. And then I'm going to put her right down here pecking at the grass. So a super cute page that's just loaded with images, but I need to flip this over and trim off the tree that's hanging over the edge here. There we go. So that you can see. And now let's move over to the right side of my page. And we're going to do this a lot of the same way. I have another tree cut from that same cartridge, April Showers, and cut to the same height as well. So and we'll be cutting off parts of this tree as well. So let me get it laid down. Here. And I'm going to put it right about there. I have the same grass hill border that I'm going to use next, cut to the exact same dimensions from the exact same cartridge. So we're going to flip this over and lay it down. And I call this layout, Welcome to the Paddock. And again, I'm going to line the bottom up to the bottom of my blue layer, which will go right there. Now, my next items that I'm going to lay down are 2 photo mats, again at 4.5 by 4.5 for each of those. We'll get some adhesive on the back of these. And this layout has no title because it's very busy, and I didn't have room to put a title in, to put in all the animals that I wanted to put in, because I had chipmunks that I wanted to put in, and I couldn't because I had no space to put the cute chipmunks. So that one's going to go right there. Oh, I have another red bird, and this is the largest of the red birds. So it's the same size as the other large one on my other page, and I see that I forgot to ink around the edges of him. So I'm just going to take time here real quick and do that. My lighting is pretty poor in here this evening, and I'm hoping it's not poor for you guys, but it's poor for me to see. So there we go. And I'm going to put this red bird down with some wet glue as well. And I'm going to put him right about there is where he is going to go at this moment. Then I have another fence just like the other one. However, I didn't cut off the chick. I actually cut all the parts of the chick out and put it together this time on this side. And it's going to go right there, just like the other page. So let me get some adhesive on here. Excuse me. And I'm going to line this up flush with the green layer of my grassy hills. Which is right there. Then I have even another grass border, and I'm sorry, don't know which one this came from. But I am going to place it down even with the dark green layer. And I'm going to pull my chick forward because I want my chick to come in front of it. So there we go there. Then I have this super cute rooster, and I cut him with print and cut as well. And my rooster is cut at 3.16 inches wide by 3.10 inches high. And I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of him and get him laid down. And I'm going to put him right up here, sitting on top of the fence post. And then my next image is this super cute horse. And my horse is cut at 7.04 inches wide by 6.09 inches high. And he comes from the Old West cartridge. And the rooster, I think I forgot to tell you what cartridge. He comes from my kitchen cartridge. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my horse here and get him laid down. I had so much fun putting this layout together. It's probably one of the quickest layouts I've ever cut out and did all of that inking on and paper piecing, because there was quite a bit of paper piecing, even though I actually did a lot of print and cut on this image too. But I did it in less than, oh, I don't know, 3 hours at the most. And I'm even calculating in the filming time of putting it down. So that's just like amazing to me. And it was because it was so fun for me to do, is what I think. What I'm doing here is inking around the edges of another little squirrel because I forgot to do that. And this little squirrel is print and cut too. And I cut this little one at 1.01 inches wide by 1.81 inches high. I'll get a little bit of adhesive on the back of him. And he's going to sit on the back of my horse. And then my final image is my little doggie. There's lots of little doggies in my neighborhood, but I really like this little terrier dog, and he's the one that I wanted to cut out. And my little dog comes from Create a Critter cartridge, and he is cut at 3.01 inches wide by 3.25 inches high. And in case I forgot again, the horse came from the cartridge Old West. The Old West cartridge on the horse. The dog is from Create a Critter. And I believe that all of these images are included in Cricut Access, I think. I own a lot of cartridges, so I try to remember to tell you when they are, but I'm pretty certain that every image is included in Cricut Access. If not, I apologize. Cricut Access to me is well worth the money, whether you pay for it annually or monthly. And I'm going to cut off the other portion of my tree that is hanging over here now. Put those away. And this finishes my layout. Welcome to the paddock. And I'm just so pleased with the way that it came out. I hope you guys give it a try, and more importantly, I hope you like it. And which is your favorite animal? Mine's the fox. Hands down, the fox. He was amazing. So we'll talk again real soon. Cheers.